Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. Today we're going to take a look at how to create Supergirl. I'm going to show two versions of the costume. There's barely slight variations, but you'll see once I get to it. The first version that I made is the version you're seeing right now. Well, let's take a quick look at the styles I used, and it's something you can almost create at character creation. So obviously for the headpiece, the face, the accessories, I didn't use anything, and neither for the shoulders. For the emblem, I went obviously with the Superman emblem from the BVS swag bag. Sadly, that emblem is no longer available, so unless you already have the emblem, you're not going to be able to use it. So the other option you have is to use the S emblem. Or there's also the shield emblem, but I don't think I have it with this character. No, I don't have it. So ideally, you want to go with the Superman emblem or the S emblem, depending on what you have. An option, though, would be to use the Superman hoodie would be an option if you really want a Superman emblem. You can get the Superman hoodie from the marketplace, and it's like $2, so it's not that expensive. But again, that's not really what I went with. For the chest, I went with the basic suit. So you can see it pretty much leaves the midriff open, pretty much the same as the Supergirl character you saw just next to my character. I had to give her gloves because sadly there is, I'll show it to you. Like you can see the hands are covered with the material from the chest, and there's no way to have it uncovered, at least not with this style. So I went with a pair of gloves, the Trim Classic in this case. And also the rim of the gloves almost matches with the belt. So the gloves kind of match with the belt and the skirt that the character has. For the belt, I went with the Stalwart Defender, but at character creation, you could go with the Techno Belt. That would work well enough. Sadly, the Stalwart Defender is only available from Prometheum log boxes, or you have to purchase it from the broker. The odds of getting it from the Prometheum log boxes are so very slim that go buy it from the broker. That's pretty much the only way really to get it. Again, for the legs, I went with the I didn't realize it was called the Metalhead. So basically I went with the little skirt that you see, which seems to be called the Metalhead somehow. And for the boots, I went with the peaked boots, although we'll show another pair of boots in a bit. Ironically enough, those boots are pretty much spot on the Wonder Woman boots, but they work well enough for our friend Supergirl. And obviously for the back piece, I went with the Steel Suit MK1. I know some of you will scream, why did you do it? Why did you do it? Because basically I had to spend, I think it was 30 something marks of victory for it. And if I had waited until my character was tier 2, I would have been able to buy it for 10 marks of victory. But I wanted it now, not in 3 days. I needed it now for today's videos. So I bit the bullet and I purchased the actual cape. Also, my combat rating is really low right now, so I need a bit of extra boost to boost my combat rating right now. So that's it for the styles that I've used with this look of the character. And you can compare it with Supergirl that is right next to my character. So as you can see, you can get the big S in the back on your cape. I wish we could have, like, you see the big emblem that Supergirl has. I wish we could have a big emblem like that. Sadly, it's not really an option right now. And of course, having let's show it a bit. Having the short cape with the S emblem on it would be kind of sweet. But again, not really an option right now. And the other look I will show you is this one here. But let me take a second to tweak it a bit. Basically, this kind of sort of helps to recreate the look of the TV show a bit. In the sense that the TV show, there is this weird this texture on the costume that they've been giving to superhero costumes for at least a decade, if not more, actually, almost 20 years. Actually, a bit more, about 15 years, 15, 20 years. They've been giving textures to costumes, and also in the case of the TV show Supergirl, they've added those little red lines to the costume. So here I'm using the scuba chest piece in order to be able to reproduce not only the texture but also the red lines that the costume has. Sadly, the scuba gear is only available in the marketplace during the summer seasonal. So if you don't already have the scuba gear, you're gonna have to wait until next summer before you can get it. Pretty much everything else is the same. Oh, I forgot to switch to change the cape. And the boots are the Stalwart Defender boots. Again, there's no. I don't have any pair of boots right now that can allow me to reproduce the TV show Supergirl properly. But right now, with the styles I have, this is about as close as I can get. Of course, I need to switch the cape for the steel cape. I just purchased the steel cape, so it's not part of my armories just yet. And I have to hurry a bit. As you can see, the daily reset is almost upon us, so I can't really take too much time. So again, this is about as close to the Supergirl costume as I can get right now. I could try to get some sort of leggings for the legs, but sadly, if I do that, I won't have the shirt, the skirt. So either I have the skirt or have I think I do have some sort of leggings that I could try to use. But again, if I do that, I will lose the skirt. So it's sometimes you have some tough choices to make. Like I have the net, which sadly I can have some sort of net like stockings. But again, as you can see, I'm losing the shirt. I think there's another one also I could try and use. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So there's also this one, but again, we don't have the skirt, so not really a good option. And let's take a quick look at the powers and abilities you may want to give to your Supergirl character. So for the weapon, I went with Brawling. So obviously you want to purchase all the Brawling abilities in order to be able to get all the Brawling combos for your character. For flight, I didn't take all the flight moves. I only took the main ones I would actually use, which is Supersonic, obviously to go faster when we fly. A Whirlwind Attack, I will show you in a bit what it does. And the Swoop Attack. I also took all the resistance, which will help us at least a bit. I could have taken Airburst, but I decided not to. It's not Airburst is not as effective as it used to be, so for a long time I would use it quite a lot with some of my characters. Sadly, not as useful as it once was, so I pretty much stopped using it. And of course, for the powers, I went with super powered, and for the DPS part, I had points in critical attack chances. For the tank, I have to admit, I'm not sure what I would do for the tank. I'm still working out on how to build a tank properly, so that will have to do to wait for another video. And for the loadout, to recreate more or less Supergirl, I'm using Frost Slam. There's a lot of people who are suggesting that I use Earth to sort of mimic super strength, but I can't help because Earth has a sledgehammer, which allows you essentially to punch the ground and pretty much act as if you had super strength. But I kind of like Frost Slam and how it kind of helps to mimic super strength in its own way. I will show it to you in a bit. There's Whirlwind Attack. I went with Deep Freeze as the supercharge, but in the long run, I would probably go for with something else. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have to think about it some more. Obviously, I went with Super Attack. I took Reflection to have some sort of protection for my character so that you can be resistant to damage. And obviously, I went with Heat Vision. I guess I could replace one of those with Freezing Breath, but right now I decided to go with this loadout. So let's take a quick look at what each power does. I'm not going to test them against enemies because, as you saw again, I'm a bit pressed for time. So Frost Slam basically does this. Like our character pretty much hits the ground, and it pretty much not just damages, but also destabilizes pretty much all the enemies around my character when I do this. So if you've watched a few of my Supergirl videos, you've already seen that power in action. And of course, there's Whirlwind Attack. This one is pretty good to, again, throw the enemies off balance, and it does quite a bit of damage. I was a bit surprised. There's Swoop Attack, which basically allows you to either ram into an opponent and throw it down, or even better, it allows you sometimes to catch up. If an opponent tries to run away, you can catch up to it, and also you throw it down so that you pretty much prevents it from trying to escape. And again, I have Reflection, which not only protects my character, but will also send damage back to enemies. So it protects the character, and also enemies do take damage when they attack her. So it does multiple things at once. The only drawback is those icicles that appears all over the character. Not too crazy about that look and about those, but sadly they come with the power. And of course, last but not least, the heat vision. Again, let's try again. They've pretty much, oh yeah, I didn't check the iconic abilities. So basically, in order to get heat vision, you need to go into the iconic abilities, and you have to purchase the ability using your skill points. So you can say I purchased the freeze breath. I'm not using it right now, but I'll probably use it at some point. And of course, you have to take super strength. You have to. That's non-negotiable. Now, super strength is not very useful, sadly, but I kind of like to take it with most of my characters that are supposed to have super strength. I guess I'm a role-playing kind of guy, so I'll usually try to take abilities that kind of fit with the character. So in the case of Supergirl, obviously Supergirl is supposed to have super strength, so I purchased super strength, of course. So that's pretty much it for how to recreate our friend Supergirl. I have quite a few videos with Supergirl, so if you need more information about the character or about how to either create the character or how to play the character and to use the various powers, feel free to look at those videos. I will make a bunch of other videos. Basically, also, like I didn't go through the powers all that much because I'm planning to make a video about the ice powers before long. So when that happens, you'll have all the information about most of the ice powers you'll need. Basically, I still need to learn about the powers myself. I have a pretty good idea of the changes that were made to the ice powers, but I still need to test them out a bit to have a clear idea of how they actually work. So again, I purchased the cape from our friend Steel for quite a few marks of victory, but if I had waited a bit, I could have purchased the cape from the style vendor for 10 marks of victory. I'll probably make a follow-up video after the daily reset about basically yesterday I watched the season premiere, which is pretty much why I'm making this video. Basically, this is a video to celebrate the start of the new Supergirl season, but I'll probably make a follow-up video to talk about what I thought of the season premiere. I'll do that after the daily reset, because again, as you saw, I'm pretty much running out of time. So that's pretty much it for now, guys. So as always, thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.